these, have you ever ridden one of these at all before?
No.
Okay. So these have what's called a semi-automatic transmission. You have to shift up.
Okay.
And there's no clutch that you have to pull in or anything like that, but the bike will shift down for you.
Okay.
You can downshift if you want. This is your shifter right here. Obviously, you know. So this is how you shift up. You just tap.
Okay.
And it'll always tell you what gear you're in right here.
Alrighty. Well, hello there in YouTube land and welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to do something different. We're going to ride a three-wheeler. But look at these beautiful machines. They look awesome. I didn't want to ride them because I know I'm going to love them and then I'm going to want one and they're too expensive. But, well, let's give it a shot. Doesn't cost anything to just ride them today. In a demo, we're going to do a big, long demo today. And you're gonna have to excuse me, I have no idea what type of engines they have, what they're called. It looks like it has some nice Brembo brakes, so that's good. And well, that's this guy. This is the Spyder, the F3 Limited. So what is the size of the engine on this one?
1330 cc.
Okay, very good. And it's at how many cylinders?
It's a 3-cylinder.
Oh, all right, that's good.
Yeah.
First things first. The first thing you're gonna notice is that it's a very different experience, because just getting on it, it doesn't feel like a bike. It just feels like a different experience. It is different. So, and I want to grab something here. So this is so weird. I want to hold on, get the clutch, get the brake, but there's nothing. Now, he was telling us that you do have to upshift, but it doesn't downshift unless you want to. Or no, you don't have to downshift, you do have to upshift. So it upshifts by it downshift by itself, you have to do the upshifts. Okay. So right now it's like locked. We'll just have to wait. Alright guys, I'll see you in a while.
Try hitting it.
There it is. Okay. Okay. This is so weird. I feel like I'm gonna fall over. Okay, so let's try it. It is definitely a different experience. I'm gonna have to get used to how this thing handles, because, well, you feel like you're gonna tip over just because it doesn't lean when you're turning. So it's just very, very weird, and it's gonna get some getting used to. Now so far it feels very plush, very comfortable, but I don't like the that I have to keep my foot on the pedal. That's gonna get a little bit annoying. Maybe after a while you get used to it. Yeah, just like in a car, you don't have to keep your Well, it's a good thing we're not going fast because I don't feel confident enough on this thing to go fast yet. Now the brakes are not really good. I think it's because it's a heavy machine. They're a little bit squishy, even though it has some Brembos. It feels like it takes a while, a little bit of effort to get it stopped. So it's definitely a different experience. I was always wondering, because the fit and finish of the Can-Ams I think are better than the Polaris always. Maybe not these little grill things, they're pretty terrible, but the dash is nice. Everything here, the buttons, everything feels very premium. So I was always wondering, why does Can-Am not come up with a regular two-wheeler? And I'm guessing, just by the feel of the brakes, it's going to be one of those things that they would rather upcharge you for something that's unique than try to compete, because I don't think they will have the capabilities of actually competing price-wise in the two-wheel segment. Right now they have the niche for these three-wheelers. Nobody else is making anything like this. So the seat is also very comfortable, but for some reason I don't feel as comfortable as I was expecting, because this thing, oh, I need to change the gear. There you go. I forgot that I'm doing the upshift. So I was like, why is this thing not changing? Well, it is a 3-cylinder, as he said, 1300 cc's, so it's a pretty big, powerful engine. We should be able to give it some beans, but I don't think we will be doing anything crazy because, well, we're newbies, totally newbies on these type of machines. I can't get used to the way it corners. It feels very good, like it corners a lot quicker than a bike, and it should. Yeah, that's good that it downshifts. Otherwise, I would have stalled it, because you have to get used to it. Because of the three wheels, well, it's easier to just, like, on a small corner, it's gonna do like on rails, easier than a bike. But I think when you go faster, I don't think the stability of this three-wheelers is gonna be better than a motorcycle. It's not a bad position to be in. This is not a bad place. I was talking about the seat. So the seat is very comfortable, very plush, but you're stuck. There's not a lot of maneuver. There's not a lot of things that you can do about it. You just have to stay here and sit here and stay forever and ever. So comfort-wise, because a lot of people buy these bikes when they're like, you know what, the Harley's too big, too heavy. They start trading them in for things like these that you don't have to worry about. Well, when you get to a stop, you don't have to worry about, well, putting your legs down and carrying the bike. And, well, in that regard, it makes sense. But comfort-wise, the Harleys are more comfortable than this. At least just from my starting feelings on this bike. Or this trike. Oh, the suspension is nice. It feels very good. It handles the bumps no problem. I like the whole idea of not having to shift. Maybe Honda's DCT, they have a point there. When you're going to ride on the street for hours and hours on end on traffic, you don't want to be dealing with shifting and clutch and all that stuff. So something like this makes sense. Makes a whole lot of sense. And obviously on a thing like this, you can't really go in between the cars. And so yeah, that sucks. It's another one of those reasons why you want a bike and not a car. And this one, well, just decides to be in the between, right? So those things. Another thing that this thing is obviously missing from a regular motorcycle, it's not just the idea of filtering. Being on two wheels, what you do, and the greatest of the sensations on two wheels is the lean. When you're leaning, you feel like you're flying or something. I don't know, it just fills you with this great sensation. And on this one, you can't. you can't really lean, and that's why it feels so weird that you turn it and it just, well, just like a car, it just turns. It doesn't lean. I'm trying to figure out what the cruising revs on this thing is, and I hope we do get someplace else on this demo, because doing a 1 hour of this traffic is gonna suck balls. And it is beginning to get a little bit hot. So all these controls, they have a whole bunch of functions on the dash, but I don't really want to be messing with it a lot, because I don't want to, I don't know what this is, for example. Ooh, eco, normal. I think it's has riding modes. This one gets the thing there. I don't want to do this. I want to watch the gauges. How was the, we did that? No. All right, there it is. Gauges. Let's go back to the gauges. All right. What else can we talk about this bike? So the engine feels smooth, very smooth, and but being a big 3-cylinder, you're always going to be smooth. But we haven't been able to actually open it up a little bit, so we have no idea about the engine. The suspension so far has been really good, because it handles the bumps no problem, especially the shock in the back. The little because they have shocks like a car at the front, so they don't feel, it just doesn't ride like a motorcycle at all, because it's not, because it's a trike. Maybe if we open it up, I would start to get the idea of what would this thing be all about. But right now it's not uncomfortable, it's a good place to be. But for this type of riding, I would obviously like a Harley Cruiser much better than something like this. Even a sport bike is a little bit more fun, because you can go in between the cars and get out of the traffic and make some time. Right now, I think I would rather be in a car than be sitting on something like this. And this is just for heavy traffic. In heavy traffic, this thing does not excel. And we listened to the radio a little bit earlier, and my Harley has a much better sound than this one. Maybe there are upgrades that you can do, but I don't know. So far, I'm bored out of my mind. The only excitement was the first turn, when you feel that, oh, this thing turns very different. That was the only excitement of the day so far. Other than that, well, just playing with the shifter, but we're going really slow in heavy traffic. This is not doing it for me, man.
No, he doesn't do it for me.
All right, yeah, open it up a little bit, and it does have some pep. But it is just getting used to how the thing handles in the corners. It would be awesome if I knew where we're going. That way I can start mentally getting ready for, all right, how long of a heavy traffic ride is this going to be? Now the mirrors on this thing are very good, because you can see whatever is behind you. It's almost like in a car. You don't have that big problem with that big blind spot that you have on motorcycles. And you do see a little bit of your hand here, your shoulder, no, your elbow. Are we not giving it some beans? Let's give it some beans, man. Come on, Cletus, come on.
Cletus, come on, Cletus. Come on.
Yeah, once you start to move a little bit faster, this thing obviously delivers a little bit more grins per minute. I hate the way it feels on the corners, man. Even though we're not hitting any turns, just by doing this little maneuver, yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. I would love to take it to some twisties and see how it feels, because the automatic downshift transmission is great. It's just getting used to, but it's a good thing to have it. Now I'm wearing all this protective gear. I don't think you need any of these for a demo like this, but I was riding my Suzuki, and well, that's the clothes I wear for my Suzuki. All right. Now, would I trade any of my bikes for something like this? Let's say they would give me this bike for the same price of any of my bikes. The R7 is the most affordable one, right? So they say, all right, fair trade, would you rather have this thing than your R7? If I could sell it, then yes, because I would sell it and get me more bikes. But right now, no, I don't think I would. If it's like, no, you have to keep it and just keep the payments the way you're doing with the R7, I don't think I would. I would rather have the this thing than the R7. And don't get me wrong, there's a hell of a lot more machine for your buck than the R7, but oh my god, the brakes, man. Okay, so braking on this machine is something you also have to get used to, because you hit the brakes a little bit and it starts swirling. All right, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but it is it swerving? It swerves a little bit, and that is also some getting used to. It was not scary, right? But it was just different. Like the back wants to go into the front, and it has to decide which side is going to go to, and it has to go someplace. So I think what they could benefit is putting a better back brake on this thing, and that would keep it from doing that swervy maneuver. But that was fun. I hope we can get to do a little bit more of that instead of just standing in the traffic. Standing in the traffic of love. I would love to see if I can put this in neutral. Yeah, so I can rev it a little bit. Oh yeah, that's a nice sound. Very nice sound. What would this engine be like on a motorcycle? Now that you should see. You should see what a 1300cc triple engine from Can-Am, Rotax, or whatever the company that makes these engines be in a bike. You should see. That you should see. You should see what a 1300cc triple engine does on a bike. You should see.
That you should see.
Okay. What else? It's getting hot. And the traffic up ahead doesn't look like it's gonna cooperate. It's pretty terrible. And I don't know if changing, because they offered me to swap bikes halfway. I don't know if they're gonna feel a lot different from each other. Maybe they do, especially that one that is very light, a little bit more sporty. But the whole experience is gonna be the same. 2 wheels in the front, 1 in the back. It's like party in the back, business in the front. So this is the mullet of vehicles. Now the tires that they're using, I'm guessing they're specially made for these machines. The back tire could be a car tire, no problem, but these little ones on the front, I don't think a lot of cars would have these small sized tires. They look like 15, maybe less, maybe 14 inches. Most cars are using bigger tires than these. But don't take my word for it, just check out the info. Bam. I don't even know how many people there are in riding with us. I think it's just us 3. Well, anyway, that is it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if I see something else, I'll add it to as a coda. But for now, that's it. Remember, if you like the video, to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell button, and share it with all your friends. You don't like the video? Well, share it with all your enemies. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Now the automatic shifter on this thing is not bad, but it's takes a little while for it to engage, especially if you're not giving it the beans, and since we are not in this ride at all. I want to watch that car in front of us. What is it? Because it looks like Vincent Vega's car in Pulp Fiction. Fucking thing feels terrible, man. Que se va a voltear a la chingada, güey. No se va a voltear, ¿verdad? Pero such a different experience, man. Such a different experience.
That's all, folks.